measuring things in your home environment. I love seeing all the pictures of people weighing things and measuring things. So great. Today, I want to talk about something a little bit different. Now, when you were measuring things, remember, measurement required a specific tool. So, for instance, if you were to see how heavy something was, you needed to use a scale. And if you wanted to know how long something was, you needed to use a ruler or a measuring tape. And if you wanted to know how hot or cold something was, you needed to use a thermometer, right? So you need a tool to take a measurement. But scientists do something else that doesn't require a tool. They do something called observation. And the only tool you need for observation is your eyes. Now, when we use our eyes, we're used to seeing things, we're used to watching things, but seeing and watching are a little bit different from observing. When we see something, we're just not noting any details whatsoever. We're like, oh yeah, on the way home from school today, I saw a dog cross the road. But when we're watching something, we are going to add in an action word. We call these action words verbs. So for instance, I saw the dog walking across the road. I saw a bird flying through the air. I saw a kangaroo jumping across its habitat. We get an action involved. But still, that's not a ton of detail. We don't know anything about the dog or the bird or the kangaroo other than what they were doing. When we get down to observing, we get down to the nitty-gritty little details. We really watch very, very carefully. And often, we need a clipboard and a pencil to write down our observations. And we need to do these careful observations day after day after day. One of the most famous scientists is Jane Goodall, and she was famous for living with and watching apes in their home habitat. And she sat with her journal day after day after day at different times of day, writing down all her very, very careful observations. And it's because of her careful observations and her work that we know so much about the apes that she lived with. Mr. Kyle, don't you have a really great story about the differences between seeing and observing something?
I sure do. When I was younger, I loved to read about Sherlock Holmes. And Sherlock Holmes was a storybook character who I thought was super fascinating because he was right about a lot of stuff all the time. He was a detective and he used his powers of observation to discover things about the world that other people had trouble seeing, even if it was right in front of them, just because he was very good at observing. One of my favorite stories about him and his friend Watson was when Sherlock and Watson were talking about the difference between seeing and observing. And Sherlock one day asked Watson about the stairs in their house that they lived in. And Watson was like, well, of course I know about the stairs. They're in my house. They're over there. I go up and down them every day. And Sherlock said, yes, you have seen the stairs, but have you observed the stairs? And Watson was like, observe, of course. I'm in this house every day. I see the stairs every day. They're over there. They're brown. And Sherlock was like, no, you have seen the stairs. Can you tell me how many steps are on the stairs? And Watson was like, oh, you know, I'm not really sure. And that's his house that he lived in. And he couldn't tell him how many stairs were on the staircase. And Sherlock said, well, I can, because I have observed them. There are 17 steps on the staircase. The third one creaks when you step on it, and they are made of wood. And they're made of a type of wood called red oak. So seeing and observing are different. When you observe something, you understand and see and explain the details about that thing. So you guys can see how tricky it is to be good observers. And if you're not observing carefully, you can miss something big, like a gorilla in the video. I'm sure a lot of you saw it, but I know when I did it, I missed the gorilla the first time, and I definitely missed the curtain change too. And that's why it's okay to go back and observe things a second time. Watching again and again is part of observing. But I want to know how many of you guys have carefully observed Mrs. Reinfelder in this video. Now, I know you've all seen her, but have you observed her? If you can pause this real quick, grab a piece of paper and a pencil. I'm gonna ask you to write down the answers to some questions. You guys ready? Okay, I wanna know, was Miss Reinfelder wearing glasses in this video? And if she was, where were they? Were they in her shirt? Were they on her head? Were they on her eyes? Go ahead and write down if she was or where you think they were. I also want to know about her shirt. What kind of shirt was she wearing and what color was it? Was it a green shirt? Was it a blue shirt? Was it a red shirt? Let me know. And her necklace. Was she wearing any kind of jewelry? What color was the jewelry? Go ahead and write down what you think that was now. All right, are you guys ready to take a look? Let's see if we got those right. Here she is! All right, let's check our observations. This was a tough one. A lot of the kids in the class got this one wrong because Miss Reinfelder does wear glasses, but she doesn't always wear them where you're supposed to wear them. So where are they?
Oh, they're on my head, you know? What good do they do me on my head?
There's no eyes up there.
There's no eyes up there.
So a lot of kids were like, yes, there's glasses. No, there wasn't glasses. There are glasses, but they're not on her eyes, they're on her head. All right, let's look at your shirt color. What do you got today?
Kind of a little blue over sweater and then a blue and white tank top.
There you go. So a blue shirt today. And then what kind of jewelry are you sporting?
I've got two necklaces on. If you caught both necklaces, that was pretty slick. The silver one's pretty easy to catch, but this longer one might have gotten lost in the background of my shirt.
I haven't even noticed that one today.
Ah!
And I'm in the room with you. Observing can be tricky.
Yeah. Excellent. If you took the time to write those observations down, you can take a picture of it and send it in to us, or just type it in to us. We want to see what observations you made. Now, to practice your observation skill, we have a really fun game on the Smithsonian website. They do a spot the difference every single day. And you can do today's, and if you get really good at today's, you can go back and try other days. Come try it with me. You hit the play button. I'm going to add a link to this website after this video. And you hit the play button. And it gives you two photographs that are almost exactly alike. And on the photographs, you're looking for slight differences. Like I see a little bit of green here that is not on the fork of this spike over here. So I would take my mouse and I would click on the green. Now the whole time you're doing this, they are timing you. And if you click on the wrong thing, they add to your time. So if I click, for instance, on this little stripe, which is available in both pictures, it gives me a different noise and it added to my time. So it tells you how many more things you have to find, and you can compete with your brother or sister or your parents on this one to see who gets the best time, and you can practice on other days. When you're done, you simply go to the top, to the calendar, right up in here, and when you click on that, it will let you choose other days, so you can do as many puzzles as you want. And it helps sharpen your observation skills. I hope